All right, and now go.
All right, we are here. Oh my God, we're here. I said technology is excellent, great, good, all of that when it works. But it didn't want to work with us today. But we are so determined to make sure we bring you a word, a message of hope, encouragement, and inspiration. So we apologize. Well, it wasn't even our fault. We can't apologize for Zoom or Facebook, but we're here now and we're going to make it happen. Thank you for coming back and joining us or even joining us right now. But we just want to say we're here to give you that message that we promise that we will bring. Well, I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization acknowledged as Trophy of Life. And we have the great privilege of rendering hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the whole wide world. And we're going to do that. I am so happy to have my co-host with me, and we're going to ask her to Takira. Oh, I just said your name. I was going to say, who are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Takira Swan. For those of you who do not know, I am so happy to be here as the co-host of this wonderful broadcast, and we have an amazing guest for you today. But before we get started, I would like to ask all of our viewers to please go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube page. Share, like, subscribe, comment. We have wonderful content that we're providing 365 days of this year, and we want to take our message across the globe. We can't do it without you. So subscribe to our page.
Thank you so much. We definitely need you to do that. Well, today, as promised and already advertised, we have someone here who is going to share on the topic of single parenting. And we were somewhat, well, we were chuckling, almost laughing before we came on live because of the morning she had, and then when we got together, the morning that we had. But hey, we have to be determined, consistent, all of that to make sure we hold up what we say we're going to do. And as a parent, a single parent, not just a parent, but a single parent, she has done that thing really good. She is an excellent parent, and we praise God for that. And we want today's topic is dedicated to single parents. I can only imagine. I can't say I've been there, done that. So let me share with you someone who's done it, who's walked it, who's talked it, who's had the challenges and still look good doing it. She looks good while she's doing it. She doesn't wear the challenges on her face. She doesn't hold the challenges in her emotions, but I'm sure those challenges are there. But we're going to hear from her, and she's going to give a shout out to other single parents because I can imagine what the challenges are like. But Danielle Baker, I am so glad to have you on Project 365. You've done well, you're doing well, and I pray you continue to do well. But you take it away. You've got it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. As she stated, I am Danielle Baker, and I am a single mother of two. I have a son who is 19, and he is soon to be 20 years old this year. And I also have a daughter who is 17, and she's about to be 18 years old this year as well. They are a rare form, I'm telling you. I have the best children in the world. They are awesome, gifted, and anointed. And, with them, of course, being a single parent with them has caused my challenges, but they have yet still been the light of my life, the joy of my life. And I could not see myself, without them. So I'm just grateful for them on today. I'm also a caretaker for my mother. She has suddenly fell sick the beginning of last year. And I have taken on the role of now that reverse role, and I'm now taking care of her. I've been divorced, single for about 14 years, and I had a great support system. I had the best grandparents in the world. So with being, a single parent, a lot of how we survive is our support system. And if you don't have a support system, which everyone does not, kudos to you, because I don't know how you've done it without it. But I'm grateful and thankful to say that I did have that support system and still do. The reason why I say did is because I'm thinking on my father. I lost him in 2011, which was a difficult time for all of us, especially my mother. And I had to realize that grief of a wife is much different than the grief of a daughter. So I had to understand what my role was now going to be. She immediately went into a state of depression, which she's been battling with, which was another challenge in itself, but God has still been faithful. If I were to choose a place to start from, again, it would be when I lost my father. Caleb at that time was about 10. Kayla was about 8. My father was my rock. He was the man in my life. He was my provider. He was my protector. I went to him for guidance, and he was the same thing for my children. And the bond that he had with my son was inseparable. A lot of times I always say that he thought that my son was his first grandchild, he was a boy, all those good things. But, he was just there. And when we lost him, I felt like I lost all of that, so one of the topics was being the head of the household. So that now became my job, like I said, with my mother, dealing with the state of depression, that still took on me to help her in some of the responsibilities where she was weighted with the depression. So Psalms 46 says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in the time of trouble. And I can definitely say that God has been a provider, that he has held me up and he has held me together. If you would ask anyone to describe me to a character, I believe the first thing that they would say is strong. And I do believe that I am a strong woman of God. And I take no goodness of my own, no greatness of my own. All of the glory and honor goes to God. Without God, I am nothing. And because I have him in my life, it has allowed me to become this. The successfulness that has come in my life is all due to Christ. And again, that role, taken on now, I have to be in charge, even with my mother, she was such a strong woman, what I mean? She had it together, on point, she did it. I didn't have to worry about that. Mom got it. But again, that took on now for me to do so. And with that, another topic is the well-being of my children. And it truly has been a struggle, with the finances. And now, it really all depending on me. And my parents taught me early the importance of working. A man that doesn't work does not eat. You understand what I'm saying? So again, it says a man, but also a woman. And I'm grateful that they instilled that in me early in life to realize that, you just can't get something without nothing, that you have to put work forth to do that. But even with the work, I still had my struggles. And again, I had a great support system. And again, I lost my father, but my mother now has been there for me as well. I call her my mom's bend, not husband, but my mom's bend. She's been there. And not only have I been there for her, but she's also my right hand as well. And with those hard times, even with receiving that check bi-weekly, there was times that I just didn't have it. There was times that, I was not able to take care of the necessity that was in front of me. But with her help, God was able to make that be done for me. But also, I mostly relied on God. He has always come through, right? He never fails. He knows what we have need of before we even ask. And I thank God for my relationship with him to allow me to trust him and look to him for those things when I'm in need. I also believe in being an avid tither. You have to tithe. And I believe that with my obedience in tithing, that also made sure that I had that I needed, right? So that if you bless, God will also pour back into you. You can't look for something and you're not putting out anything. So there was many times that I was not fearful, but was like, should I pay because I got this bill, I have this in front of me. But I also know that I have to give, right? And it says that little becomes much when you place it in God's hands. So the little I had, God made sure it was enough to supply the needs that was ahead of me. Okay. So again, with that, I can also talk about my emotions. You asked me about how I felt. So when I think about being a single parent and the emotions that we go through, the ups and downs that I've had this journey have been great, right? So I always say that anybody that has a success story always has a story where, things weren't good. Your back was up against the wall, where, things just did not work out. And realizing that both of those things are necessary. And I'm just learning how to embrace the process, learning that it's not to kill us, but it's to make us and to strengthen us. So we don't go through sometimes, we will not understand what it is to come out on the other side. If I wasn't sick, we wouldn't know what it was to be well. If I did not have, we wouldn't know God to be a provider. So in those incidents when I was down, I know that they were necessary. It's what's made me. It's made me who I am. It's actually what has strengthened me. That strength that everybody sees in me is because of the hard times that I've had in my life and that I've been able to overcome. When you lift your weights, you get sore, you get tired, and you're like, oh, but at the end, you start looking, you're flexing, you're like, okay, that's what that was for. That's what that pain was about. That's what I had to go through and just endure so that I could be strengthened. But I also was receiving my education, right? So it's been about 6 years with that. And a lot of times it seemed like it was impossible. It seemed like I wasn't going to make it. It seemed like, why would you, decide to do this at this age in your life, right? This is hard. You're a parent, you have 2 children, and you're on your own. So you're going to have to try to figure it out. So with that being said, that there was times that I was working. Like I said, I was in school, I was parenting. And then even in my last year, I also took on the thing of becoming a caretaker. So the journey was very hard. The struggle was very hard, but because of God, it was possible. I spent a lot of nights crying. I also spent nights praying. God help me. That was my provider. And I remember one night, my little ones, they were in the bed. They were little at that time. They were both in my bed, and I was on my knees, and I was on the side of the bed, and I'm literally hand on my mouth because I'm just crying, right? Trying to not wake them up. But it was just a point in my life where I was like, God, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can make another day, but God is the joy and he is the strength of my life. And what he let me know at that point was that even though the struggle is great, that I can't give up. That giving up was not an option for you. You don't have that as an option. That lean on me, I am your strength, and I will give you that you need. And another emotion is fear. And he let me know that he didn't let me, I'm sorry, that I had to overcome my biggest emotion, and my biggest emotion was fear. And that thing almost made me forfeit my journey several times. And I had to recall to my mind that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind, right? A sound mind. So when we allow fear to come in, it counsels so many things for us. Even as a parent, it is fearful. You're on your own. You're taking care of the children on your own mind now. They're driving every time they leave out of the yard. My heart is going, I'm saying, Lord, please, give them safe travels, bring them back, but I'm grateful that I instilled in them the things that they need, that I was the example, that I didn't live on both sides, that the life that I've lived has truly been an example for them, and let them know the life that they should also to choose to live. And I'm grateful that they have made the right choices thus far in their lives. And I'm just grateful to God because he continues to keep doing great things for me. And he let me know that fear will punk you out of your future. You know what I'm saying? When you allow fear to come in, it counsels so many things that are great for you. Fear will try to avoid you to reaching your destiny. And a lot of us have greatness ahead of us. The destiny is great, but fear will try to come in and counsel that. And I thank God that even through the midst of being alone, being a single parent, as I've said, I had 2 wonderful children that have encouraged me even through this race. My mother, who also, again, was there to support me and push me and to let me know that you can handle it. School was definitely a challenge for me, right? So most of the times in the classroom, I am the oldest, right? I look around, everybody's younger than me, right? Then I felt like I was misunderstood. These kids I'm looking at are the age of my own children. How will they understand where I'm at this point in my life, with the struggle that I have in front of me? And and kept coming to me, you're too old for this. You can't do this. You can't retain the information, but God. And I'm just so grateful again that God let me know that I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me, and that nothing is too hard, right? Nothing is too hard for God. So in this walk, we have to remember to rely on God. And with me as being a single parent, the hard thing is to ask. And that's, if I were to give you any advice today, it would be learn how to ask for help. And, so many times people make you feel like asking for help is a sign of weakness. But what I've realized is that that is strength. The person, I always tell my mom, I said that the person who's so quick, to come back and has something to say for every word and, feedback, that's actually the weak person. I said, it takes more strength to keep your mouth shut. It takes more strength to know who you are and to be able to walk away, from that situation. So the same thing with this. Strength is that you need the help and to ask for it. Why suffer? Why go through? Why struggle when there are avenues that you can go about to make your process, easier? So they say, not work hard, work smart. And it took a lot for me to realize that now is the time to ask, especially now with my mother, like I said, being a caretaker, taking on her, that I have to ask. I had to ask somebody today, can you take my mother to the doctor? I thought at one time that it was for me to do everything. Yeah. I felt like all the responsibility is on me, everything I had to do, but God let me know it's not for you to do. Not only am I to rely on him, but I have to learn how to rely on my sister and my brother and those that are there. People are offering, and I'm like, no, I got it. But it's okay. I don't have it. It's okay. I do need help. I do feel like I'm about to pull out every hair of my head. The struggle is great, and the frustration began to overcome. And that's when I realized that at this point in my life, you have to ask to be able to be successful in their journey, because without help, you can't make it. It says no island stands alone. So therefore you have to depend on others. And we know sometimes that's hard, but making sure the person you're depending on is somebody that you can count on. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we can put our faith and hope in the wrong person, but God, show me that person that I can, rely on, that once I turn it over to them, that I can trust that everything that I'm giving them, it will be, confidential, that they're really there to help me, not looking for something. Those people are there. But just ask God to guide you in that. So again, words of encouragement for single people, we're looking, and I'm waiting right now for God to bless me, as far as the husband is concerned, but what he let me know is that I am that you need. So, a lot of times we're looking to get that piece from maybe, the providing from your husband. We think, well, I need him to be able to pay this, or I need him to be able to pay that, and to take out the trash, all these little things that we look for man to do. But God was letting me know that everything you need, I can do. My father let me know before he died. He said that if you put in to relationships that effort into God, I promise you that he'll give you the very desires of your heart. And sometimes we put our hope and faith in the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for it to be in that avenue when God is saying the whole time, I'm right here. I've not lost nothing. I have not had what I want to say a need or a want, but whenever my needs came, God made sure that they were fulfilled. Whenever even desires, God is making sure that my desires are filled. And I can't find anyone that will love me better than God. I can't find anyone who knows what I need before I can even ask. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. I'm waiting on him to send me him, meaning as a husband. But God is saying everything you have need of, I can do right now. There's no one that is in comparison to can do what I do. So I'm just grateful to God for encouraging me, for holding me, for loving me, for caring for me, for encouraging me, for pushing me. There's no greater love than the love of God. So I would advise you, the word of God says that God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you could even ask or think. I think of Tasha Cobb when she was talking about the Christmas gift. And we want to put things in a box, right? But what God has for you is so much greater. You know what I'm saying? So much greater. And then your mindset is, well, I need this, this, and that. And God says, but baby, what I got for you is greater, so much greater than that. And I ask God, do not allow me to put a lid on the blessings that I know you have for me. My lid is off, and I'm looking for God to blow my mind. And I believe the greater the struggle, the greater the blessing. So I'm looking for God to come and overtake me with the blessings. So single women and men, trust God through your process, that yes, it gets hard sometimes, but remember that God said he would never leave you nor forsake you. He is always there, and he knows what you have need of. And I'm telling you, it's just a little thing sometimes when I think about God, just a little thing. I cut my finger at the airport the other day while I was in the bathroom, wasn't expecting to do that. And I came out, I said, oh, I cut my finger. Ladies over there, she says, I have a Band-Aid. I'm just saying, who thought that she would be in there with a Band-Aid? But God keeps telling me over and over, I got you. I got you. The simplest things. And I'm just learning to appreciate everything that God is doing, appreciating it all, and realizing that it is process. It's a part of the process. And this is what I have to go through. And I am right where God wants me to be. And he's making sure that I have what I need.
Definitely have what you need. You definitely have what you need. And you do it, I tell you. You do it so well. And look, I know because of the delay of us coming on live, we have a few more minutes, but on Project 365, we asked real questions. So how was it when how did you do with split custody? Was that an issue?
Hey, see, you got me out here. So you want me to be honest? What happened with that was I was married, of course, like I said, and then like I said, we divorced, and we did what is it? Shared custody. But in that instant, it still basically was truly, me. So, but with that, I've never, with that, their father always allowed, them to be there, with them whenever he thought that he might have wanted to be there, whatnot. But we didn't have any difficulties as far as, saying, who would do what, who would be where. The wisdom, and both of us knew that this is where they should be. So, but with that, it was not a hard thing. And I'm, like I said, I'm grateful, even with their process with divorce, that my kids really did not experience, a harsh time during divorce, where they say kids usually get most of the brunt of the divorce. But truly, I can say that they've been blessed. Sometimes, I wonder, I know they knew we were separated because we weren't in the same home, but the love was never let up. You know what I mean? So they were sheltered, they were taken care of. I never spoke ill in front of them of, of any situation that I was going through. My ex-husband and I, we never argued in front of the children. So it was like they were sheltered. So I'm grateful for even the process that they did not have to experience a harsh time.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And I know you're such a woman of faith. And I think we're going to have a part 2 to this, in a sense of, you have your woman of faith, and then you have those that do not have faith.
Right.
And what would you say to someone who does not have a support system?
Again, without support systems, meaning without having family or friend, and those of you who do not know God in a relationship that I do have, within my life, that again is you have to learn, like I said, to ask. So there are systems in your areas like social services, those types of things that will assist you in the things that you have need of. So again, you trying to take on the task of trying to handle it yourself is not the wise thing to do. So you look into your community for resources, find those places that are willing to help you, because they're out there. But, sometimes it takes you to do the research to find it. But again, I would just tell you to hold on, to not give up, that your children definitely need you. And for me, that was my push in all of everything I've done, even with my education. I have my kids it's about them, and all I've done has been for them. Don't get me wrong, it's for me, but my push was to know that it was for my children. So don't give up on that, knowing that your kids need you. Hold on. And again, like I said, just seek the resources that are in your community, and they are out there. So there's help. There's always help.
Oh, there's always help. Last but not least, my question is, and I know he that findeth a wife, he that findeth one.
Right.
But while they're looking, at least look like something. So what did you do for yourself? You always looking on.
Well, let me
You're
tell you,
always on point.
my daddy, I'm telling you, as a little girl, we could not go to the mailbox without our hair combed. If my dad was going to, I was a daddy's girl, to the dump, and if I was going to ride to the dump, my hair had to be combed. So even as a young girl, you know, I remember my girlfriends would look like anything. We would go to Walmart or wherever they were going to. And like, why'd you got to do all of that? Because it's necessary. You know what I mean? So I always tell my children, I still try to instill in them that appearance has a lot to do, you know, with the things. Now, it's not all about what you look like, but when somebody sees you for the first time, this is what they see. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're made of, you know. So my thing is this, that when they look at me, at least I want to look like, okay, she looks like maybe she could do the job. Now, once I talk to her, we'll figure out more. But I believe in looking like, you know, what you want. You know what I mean? I believe that this thing here, which doesn't take long, looks like it does, but it really does not. And then it doesn't even really, it's not even expensive. It doesn't take a lot to look good. And I just, even my kids, like I said, I just think that it's very important to present yourself how you want to be taken. So I'll always try my best to look my best, because that's what I want presented to me best.
Right. And you do it for yourself,
Yes.
not necessarily for anyone else.
Right.
Because if you keep doing it for someone else, when that someone else is gone, well, okay.
So even in this pandemic, you know, people use it as an excuse. You know, some days, like, what was it, the other day, I mean, fully dressed. They're like, why you got pearls on? Because I need this. You know what I'm saying? I got pearls on because this is what I want to put on. This is what I want to wear. This is how I want to look. And it's okay. You know what I mean?
It's okay.
It is. Actually, it's a good thing.
If you want the best of me, let me put it on. Let me put it on. If you don't, if you want that other person, you know, I can't.
Right.
I can't. And then it gets to the point where just give her some pearls, give her some earrings, give her some makeup. She'll feel better.
Exactly.
So it is good. Takira is going to come in and she's going to just close us out. Thank you so very much again. I apologize for the delay, but I thank you so very much for what you shared.
Thank you so much.
Definitely what you shared.
Hope I helped somebody.
Well, you definitely did. I feel like you have helped single mothers who are believers and who are not believers. You've said a lot of golden nuggets today on so many different levels. So I just want to encourage all of our viewers today to please share this. Please watch this again. Her story is amazing. She is amazing. She's a very intelligent and strong woman. I can just see right now, it's radiating from you. So trust and believe that. But just listen to what she said and don't be discouraged, you know, with your situation, because she's a great example of how she took her situation of being a single mother and embraced the process, like she said, and because she depended on God and put him first, that process is a beautiful one, you know, and it could be so many different outcomes. It could go the different way, but because she put God first and depended on him, that her process is so beautiful. So I just want to encourage everyone to embrace their process and find those resources, find that tribe, like she said, and just, you know, be who you're supposed to be the best mother you're supposed to be. But at the end of the day, also don't forget to be you. Don't forget to embrace you and be who you are. And so you can walk and be the best mother and woman that you can be. So I just want to thank you again for coming on our broadcast. We'll have to have her again. She has so many good nuggets.
We need a part two, because that's my thing that God gave me this year, becoming me. So let's go to that. You forget who you are, and I did that for so many years, and I'm now learning to become who I am. So yes.
That's good. And your kids are just they're talented. They love the Lord. I'm
for
telling
themselves.
You,
it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yes, that's a good thing, especially when you're PK kids. You know, you gotta have please have your own life. It's amazing. It is amazing. But on Saturdays, Takira, can you speak to Saturdays, and maybe we can have her son and daughter on?
Yes. So Saturdays we dedicate that to we call it the voice of the next generation. And so any generation, my generation, the generations underneath me, you know, we kind of just focus that on our youth or young adults. and they share their experiences as well. So that will be a great opportunity for your kids
Definitely.
to come on.
Definitely.
All right. Again, we thank you so very much, Danielle. We appreciate your time, and we'll be seeing each other somewhere around, I'm sure.
Yes.
But I will definitely be in contact, or Takira will be in contact, so that we can get Caleb and Kayla.
Yes.
All right, got it.
Soon.
To be a participant. Thank you so
Okay.
much. God bless, and we'll see you
Thank
later.
you. Yes, ma'am. God bless.